Last year, the opposition launched their India Alliance. It was a unified plank where 28 political parties would take on the BJP and the NDA. But there were terrible contradictions in the alliance. Some of the alliance partners had been fighting each other even before the BJP had existed as a political party. And this is what seems to have happened. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has broken away from the India Alliance. Her party will fight the state's 40 Lok Sabha seats on its own. Now, the TMC with 21 seats is the third largest constituent in the India Alliance, a very critical part of the India Alliance. But in just 6 months, the alliance is coming apart at the seams. Now, joining me to discuss this unraveling of the India bloc are senior journalists Shikha Mukherjee, Sandeep Ghose, and my colleague Sudha Sadhanand in the News9 Plus studio. Welcome to the News9 Plus Show. I want to start by asking Sandeep, decode for us Mamata Banerjee's moves. Is this a case of no confidence in the Congress's ability to deliver in the Lok Sabha elections, that she's decided to cut loose and make the most of Lok Sabha seats?
No, I think, what is Congress's ability or inability, Mamata Banerjee would have had a fair assessment right from the beginning. But in any alliance or any partnership, you have to see what's the quid pro quo. What do you expect in return?
Yeah.
And Congress had very little to offer her, or rather for Mamata Banerjee to give up her number of seats from West Bengal. You must understand that West Bengal is really her home turf and her home ground. Now, whatever she is in the parliament today in Lok Sabha, it is by the strength of the seat she has got in West Bengal.
Right.
If she gives something away there and thereby reduces her tally from West Bengal to Lok Sabha, she would be also weakening her position even within the India Alliance.
Right.
So she has to get something in return from them to be able to, to give something. And I suppose therefore she had asked for seats in the Northeast. That's the, Congress can really offer her anything with some degree of guarantee if they were to give us something in Northeast, which Congress wasn't prepared to do. So I think it's a very, very unfair deal which was happening. So it was only expected that this would turn out as it did.
Yes, and Shikha, this thing that Sandeep mentioned, the fact that there's very little that the external partners can really offer regional parties, so very strong in their own states, in their respective states. And Mamata's is a clear case of the TMC being the #1 party in West Bengal. So was that not known at the very beginning? I mean, these contradictions were known 6 months back. So why is anyone surprised that Mamata Banerjee decided, and especially after the 3rd December results, when it became very clear that the Congress was in no position to take the BJP on its own?
Yeah, I think, it's interesting if you look at how Mamata Banerjee has been talking about the whole thing.
Right.
If you look at the way in which she approached the issue, right at the beginning, she said that each party on its own turf, the party that is dominant in its own turf, will fight the BJP directly. In other words, it should be a one-on-one contest between the dominant party in power in a state and the BJP as the challenger. So if you look at what she's doing now, it kind of follows from the existing logic of her argument. Prior to the India Alliance, even at the stage when the India Alliance was being cobbled together.
Right.
And if you recall, she was very specific in December that the Congress has to get its act together on seat sharing by the end of the month.
Right.
And she'd given that deadline. The fact that the Congress has still not got its act together is something that irks Mamata Banerjee, and she is preparing herself to fight the campaign now.
Right.
She is preparing to take on the BJP now, and she has that compulsion, which Sandeep mentioned very correctly, that she needs, more than anything else. Please recall that in 2019, she did suffer a setback.
Yes.
BJP won 18 seats, and that was a huge shock to her, and that is why the 2021 election was so keenly contested between the BJP on the one hand and the Trinamool on the other. And it is also true that the Congress today has very little elbow room in terms of vote share, in terms of what it can do or what it can win in West Bengal.
Right.
And then look at the next thing that happens. As soon as Mamata says that she's going it alone, and
the
it is
Aam
not
Aadmi Party,
unpredictable.
right?
Aam Aadmi Party has followed suit, and it says that no, we are going to contest in all 13 seats. The fact is that the Congress is, I think, taking things at a pace which is uncomfortable for other parties of the India alliance.
Yes.
Because they are already fighting on the ground against the BJP, and they need to get their campaigns going.
Right.
There is no time that they can spend in waiting for the Congress to decide how it's going to play this election.
Right. So Sudha, this point that Shikha mentioned, the fact that everyone's waiting for the Congress to get its act together, and the Congress thinks it's still that national party, but in terms of vote share, mind share, whatever you look at it, it's now been reduced to a regional party almost.
Absolutely.
It's possibly the first among equals.
Yeah, it's completely, today when I did my show, the South Indian, I said that as much, that it's disintegrating.
Right.
I stick my neck out, and the process began long time ago, but now it's coming to fruition, as it were. So today was Maan, of course, Mamata has spoken, Maan has spoken. It could be Akhilesh the day after.
Yes.
And I do not know about, we keep saying that they need to get their act together. Do they even know what the act is?
No, that's
I don't think they have a clue about what the act is. And Sandeep, no one is thinking, I do not know, but my heart went out for that old man sitting there, Mallikarjun Kharge, who was brought in so that he could work as a glue to keep disparate thoughts together. He was supposed to be somebody who made Siddaramaiah and Shivakumar sit down and say, listen, this is not the time to fight. But, it all seems to have come to naught right now, Sandeep. So, what is the act? That's the big question.
So, the act, Sudha, if I may, is to take on a combined opposition, takes on the ruling party, which has got a majority. And I'm looking at the last two times it's happened. 1977, Mrs. Gandhi. The opposition comes to power, rules for 2 years, then collapses. Then you have 1989, single party, the Congress, the largest majority in India's political history, 400 plus. Rajiv Gandhi is, defeated, voted out of power. But since then, we've not seen single party rule. We haven't seen a party come to power on its own. And that seems to be the game plan.
Well, okay, if that may be true, I mean, it's happened, and you historically, you listed the instances. What was the so-called group doing when Udhir Ranjan Chaudhary has gone hammer and tongs against Mamata Banerjee? It's been almost a fortnight. I mean, I don't think that Mr. Chaudhary went and did this on his own. I mean, after all, the Congress is still works like a corporate entity. I mean, you don't go around doing these things.
Bad-mouthing
you can't. So the thing
partners,
is that if you want this to work, then all of you get your act together. You can have your ambitions. You are all regional satraps. But then this entire thing of this so-called romantic thing is we are here to defeat Modi. It's kind of hypocritical, according to me, because there is no act.
News 9 Plus. Download now.